I've been talking about the Dallas Mavs all season. Well, no, I've been talking about the Dallas Mavs for the last 3 seasons, right? Because that's another false narrative that they keep getting tossed around about Luka and his greatness. And he is great. He is a great player. He is easily one of the top 10 to 12 players in the league right now. Statistically, he is one of the top 3 best players in the league, just stats. But if I'm just grading him as a player, I got to grade both ends of the floor. I got to grade every single thing. And I got to take his stats with a grain of salt because I know what he's doing to get his stats. I know he's playing a style of basketball in an era of basketball that is wide open for you to just go get those stats, right? And the way he get his stats alienates teammates. It's not the best basketball you can play in terms of winning. It doesn't utilize his co-stars and role players well, and it restricts everyone. This is basically what I was talking about earlier in the opposite thing about the triangle offense and Kobe Bryant. Just imagine if Kobe Bryant played in the offense where they said, give Kobe the ball, everyone else stand at the three-point line and set screens for him and be ready to catch and shoot. His stats would be unreal. Like Kobe Bryant's stats would be unreal. Thank God that Phil Jackson was there to say, this isn't winning basketball. We're going to put you off the ball. We're going to actually install an offense, and you're going to play within an offense, right? That is winning basketball. What Dallas is doing is not winning basketball. That is basketball that is there for Luka to get his stats, and it's selfish. So I'm going to play for you what Grant Williams said because he just got traded. They bought Grant Williams in this summer, gave him a good paycheck to leave Boston, right? He shows up. The first 5 or 6 games they playing, they looking lights out. Grant Williams can't miss. Luka can't miss. Tim Hardaway couldn't miss. Threes flying everywhere. They had the number 1, or maybe they had a top 3 offensive rated offense in the league. Everything was looking good. It was the honeymoon phase, right? And then the bottom fell out, right? Their honeymoon phase always looked good. They're in the honeymoon phase now because they just did a trade. They got Gafford in. They got PJ Washington from Charlotte, and they just smoked OKC, and they beat somebody last night, and they looking real good. It's the honeymoon phase. This is the same thing that happened at the beginning of the season with Scott and other new guys, right? So I'm looking for them to actually come back down to earth pretty soon. But I gotta watch what they're playing, how they're playing, because Kyrie's back now. So I got to see if Luka is actually off the ball more, and if they're playing more of a team ordering offense. But I want to play for you what Grant Williams said. The first game in Charlotte, which he's from Charlotte, his first post game interview, and they asked him about how he feel to be in Charlotte. This is what he said.
What did tonight feel like for you personally, and also on the court as well?
It feels great. You come to a team, you don't know what to expect, and everybody was very welcoming. It's a city that I grew up in. It's great to get a win for the city and really play for the jersey, that's across your chest, not the one on your back. So I was fortunate to be part of a team that really wanted to win, and it was super exciting. The play style was fun. Everybody touched the ball. Everybody was able to move, cut, knock down open shots, and we trusted one another. A team that had never played with each other or practiced with one another. Every single person seemed like they had each other's back. So it was a special night. My family was here to be able to support me. I'm fortunate to be able to be in Charlotte, the city that I love, and I'm blessed to be here.
He said he said it's nice to play for a team that plays for the name on the front of the jersey and not the name on the back of the jersey. Then he said it was good to be in this offense. Everyone shared the ball. The ball was moving. Everyone touched it. They was playing more of a team ball. That's a direct shot at the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic. I know it is, right? I know it is, right? Direct shot, because that's how they play. JaVale McGee said the same thing. Christian Wood said the same thing. Hell, Jalen Brunson, he didn't say it out of his mouth, but his representation said the same thing. Nobody wants to sit and watch Luka do this. And he said they're not playing for the jersey or the name on the front of the jersey. They're not playing for Dallas. They're playing for the name on the back. They're playing for Luka. And how do I know they're playing for Luka? Is because that's all they talk about. Luka just did a podcast with JJ Redick on his podcast, and he asked him about the MVP. Do you want to win it? And Luka said, of course, everyone wants to win MVP. I want to win MVP. He has that in the back of his mind. You can't find a winner, and we'll go keep using Kobe and Michael Jordan as an example. You can't find a winner that's doing an interview and get asked about the MVP, and their answer is not, I just want to win. Right? That's the real answer I want from my leader. Do you want the MVP? Even if you do want it in the back of your head, no, I just want to win. Because that sends a message to your teammates. That sends a message to everybody. I want to win. I want to win that bad. And if you want to win that bad, you would do anything that you need to do. And Kobe's situation and in Mike's situation, Phil Jackson told them, I need you to come off the ball and play in the triangle. They did that because they wanted to win. They went away from the stats they can get. That proves that they wanted to play for wins and not stats. Luka says he wants to win, but he also says he wants to win MVP, which means he has to have MVP stats. So like one of the callers said earlier about Kobe Bryant, averaging 25, 5, and 5, if you get 5 rings out of that, then that's a better formula than averaging 38 and 8 and don't get no ring, which is what Luka's doing. He's averaging 30, getting 8 assists, 8 rebounds, but you in an 8 seed right now. And if the Lakers, they just traded for Dinwiddie, if the Lakers go on a run, they right behind you at number 9, they can easily take over that 8 seed. And if Luka, who usually gets hurt, and Kyrie usually gets hurt, if they get hurt again and they go on another stretch where they drop 4 games in a row, they can drop out of the play-in. They can be in the 10th seed in no time. So they're not out of the woods, right? So it'll behoove them to play better basketball. Here's what Dinwiddie said during his interview.
Because obviously it's a new situation. Whereas, I'll give y'all something funny that I told my people because I'm fairly candid. The two situations kind of felt like this, right? Let's say you were a kid, you got your ass whooped by the bully. Dallas would have been like your mama being like, it's okay, baby, don't worry about it. Lakers are like, your dad, now you better go out there and fight till you win. You feel me? And I just felt like that was what I needed at the time.
So they asked him why did you choose the Lakers over Dallas, because it was a couple of teams that called him, and his last 2 options that he was thinking about was Dallas and LA. And they asked him, why did you pick the Lakers over Dallas? And that was his explanation. He said, Dallas is more like your mom in the situation. If you got beat up by the bully, Dallas or your mom would be like, it's okay, baby. But the Lakers is the dad that's saying you better go fight them back. Basically what he's saying is Dallas is not serious about winning, right? They're not that serious. The Lakers are more serious about it. You go do what you got to do. And if you got to go through that bully, you got to go through that bully. Dallas is like, winning, we want to win, but we really want Luka to get this MVP, right? And I know that because I'm listening to Mark Cuban's interviews on Pat Beverly's podcast, and I've listened to Jason Kidd's interviews. Here's Jason Kidd talking about this. This was at the beginning of the season, and that was interviewing him about what they expect during the season.
Luka's one of the best players in the world, and so he's always going to be mentioned as an MVP candidate. For him, it's about being healthy. Again, last year's numbers, 38 and 8, those are like video game numbers, and he's doing it at a high level. And then you're going to have to sprinkle in, we got to win. And so if we can do those 2 things, of him being healthy and us winning, he can end up with that MVP trophy.
Right. So he's talking about he can end up with that MVP trophy. And he's talking about we got to sprinkle wins in. They got a mindset and a strategy on how Luka can get MVP. Like, how as the head coach that thought even enter your mind? How can we get Luka MVP? Well, we got to sprinkle some wins in. Like, he's already got the stats. That's basically what he said. If you read between the lines, he said last year he averaged 38 and 8. Those are video game numbers. He said so it's just going to be about him staying healthy, and then we got to sprinkle in wins. So what he's saying is he's got to stay healthy enough to play 65 games. And he already averaged 38 and 8 last year, so we know he go get the numbers this year because we're playing the same style of offense. All we got to do is sprinkle in some wins. That came out of the head coach's mouth. Just sprinkle in some wins, and then he can get the MVP. Why are they thinking about it? What head coach is thinking about how his star player can get the MVP? I don't understand it, right? And for Grant Williams to fall out with the teams, this is probably the 5th or 6th player that fell out with Dallas that had to get traded. Porzingis had to go because he didn't like the offense. It was selfish. He already talked about it on JJ Redick's podcast. JaVale McGee didn't like it. They was having team meetings last year talking about how they didn't like it. Theo Pinkston didn't like it. Kyrie didn't like it. Tim Hardaway didn't like it. Now we got a newcomer that come on. He didn't even last the season. Grant Williams, he didn't like it. They traded him. So all they're doing is whoever voices their opinion about the offense that they're running and how selfish it is and how they're just playing for Luka, they end up getting traded. And they got Kyrie Irving in a situation where he can't say nothing because, well, he probably can say something now because he got his contract. But on Pat Beverly's podcast, Mark Cuban explained that this is the last stop for Kyrie, and he knows it. He knows that he rubbed so many people the wrong way around the league. Next stop, if he don't get it right here, his next stop is out of the league. So don't expect Kyrie Irving to say too much because he knows, hey man, it ain't much I can say. They got me stuck between a rock and a hard play. I got to play ball the way they want to play it. So they're playing for Luka. And I just think it's just a horrible thing for them to do, man. And I want to hear y'all thoughts on it, man. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. I'm gonna open the phone lines up. So y'all call in and tell me what y'all think about this situation with Dallas, Luka Doncic, and this MVP they chasing. And it seems like they making are they making the MVP more important to winning? That's what I want to know from y'all. Y'all still talking about Pippen out there too. Hey, that happens every time I do one of these Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron topics first. I finish it, move on to the new topic, and then the chat just be going nuts, just talking about the same old topic. Let me see what y'all talking about. He's the only player in the league at 39. Hey, that just means he need to get out the league then. It ain't his league no more. It ain't his game. At 40, Bron is taking everyone's touches while destroying the Lakers franchise. I agree. But yeah, those are T-Ray. What up? T-Ray, what's good, man?
Hey, what's up, brother?
I'm good. What's up?
Oh yeah, man. I just want to chime in on that old Luka situation.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. You know, when James Harden was doing his thing in Houston, and he was putting up them numbers and doing what he did, all you heard was how selfish he was and how he was putting coaches under the bus like Kevin McHale and you know, this, that, and the third. But what we did get out of that, we got results. He got his team to the Western Conference Finals. You know, he was able to get MVP, but the work he put in resonated with wins and losses at least. You know, he was not the playoff performer that he should have been, but he did put up numbers and his team was able to win.
Yeah.
Why is it that Luka's not able to translate to wins with the amount of production that he put in?
That's a good question. That's a real good question because it's a very similar situation. It's actually scary how similar it is because that style of play is a lot of things that happen with that style of play, and these are the things to look for with anybody who's playing like that. There's going to be multiple coaching firings. There are going to be multiple co-stars getting traded, multiple role players getting traded and changed out. Frustrated players, and no results as far as finals runs. Right, you know the only thing you're going to get is a lot of stats for your star player and possibly MVP. Now, when you look at the Rocket situation, like you said, Kevin McHale, he got blamed as a scapegoat, got fired. Yeah. Right, they brought in D'Antoni and Daryl Morey, and they tried Dwight Howard. He's a co-star. He's gone. Then they tried Eric Gordon. Then they tried CP3 as a co-star. Then he was gone. Then they tried Westbrook and Carmelo as a co-star. They both was gone. None of it worked. And then when none of it worked, then they went on and fired D'Antoni and got another coach. It just doesn't work. And the same thing is going on with Dallas. They done fired their GM. They made Rick Carlisle quit. Dennis Smith Jr. was the first co-star that had to go. Then they brought in Porzingis. He had to go. Then they brought in Brunson and he had to go. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah. And like Kobe said, that style of play don't win you titles.
No.
So it makes you wonder once again. Really, you don't wonder because just like Jason Kidd said, he didn't mention team success one bit in that soundbite that you played.
No, he didn't.
It's all about pushing narratives, making your star player, in this case, another foreign player, putting him on the upper echelon.
Yeah.
And if the team happen to win, so be it. If not, then at least we got MVP out of it.
And I don't think they think they can win a championship. I think they only want the wins so it'll look better on Luka's resume for MVP.
Yes, exactly. It's like they don't even care. Like to me, tell me what you think about this. Mark Cuban, he was so ecstatic to get the one title he got that he didn't care about winning after that. I mean, he's put together teams. He's doing some things in terms of that. But overall, if they don't ever win again, it's not he ain't pulling his hair out at night. You know, the bottom dollar is still getting made.
Yeah.
And he got a guy that, you know, seems like he putting in seats there in Dallas, so he really don't care about winning the league.
And he probably making money hand over fist because he's selling Luka tickets, or not Luka tickets, but Luka jerseys in America and in Slovenia.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this game is about now.
Yeah,
it's a corporate situation, and the bottom dollar is gonna supersede sacrificing to win titles or whatever.
Yeah,
and you know that's the main problem with sports today.
Yep.
So yeah. I just wanted to touch on that, man. It's just it's ironic to me how, you know, what was good for Luka it wasn't good for Harden just 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, bro. Thanks.
Bro. All right, no doubt.
Yep. All right, let me get 2 more calls in here. 2 more calls, and then we're in this topic, and I guess I'll let the last 10, 15 minutes be whatever y'all got going on in the comment section. Caller from Florida, what's up?
Hello, I'm calling about the Luka situation.
Okay,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right, good. Go ahead.
All right, so about the Luka situation, I do agree that the play style that's there is not maximizing the players there and the skill set that's there. But I would say that is a complicated situation because of Mark Cuban and the strategy that he put in place. You have to understand that at the end of the day, it's a business. So when I was explaining that, yes, Luka is a part of the problem, but it's not just Luka. It's a very complicated situation when it comes to his play style, because with Jalen Brunson, I was just debating this with Mavericks fans, and they were saying to me that Jalen Brunson would be the same player with Luka. And I was explaining to them that with Luka's usage and TOP, time of possession, he wouldn't be able to thrive within that offense, hence why Brunson's representative said that he wouldn't be Jalen Brunson in that situation.
Right.
The reason why I was very annoyed by people who are just saying, oh, it's just Luka is, if you look at what Mark Cuban is saying, he has stated numerous of times that he basically wants to make the team around Luka.
Yep.
To make it basically so we can have stats there.
Yeah.
My issue with the criticism of Luka is not really his play style, is that Mark Cuban as a GM, he has consistently done this he did the same thing, Dirk.
Yeah.
Whereas,
well, hold on. Let me slow you down real quick. First of all, what was your name?
Zane.
Zanny.
Zane.
Oh,
They
Zanny.
can discuss them.
Okay, Zanny. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, all right. So I want to back up a little bit because I'm not blaming Luka, right? I'm not blaming Luka. I don't have I like Luka a whole lot. I think he is so good that they're wasting him by making him play this style. And Luka has already said we don't play like this in the Euro League. This is not how we play. It's team oriented. We're running plays almost every time down court. It's not focused around just one superstar. That's not the offense they run. But my issue is with the NBA media that is trying to tell everyone that because he's getting these big numbers, that he's a better player than what he is. Right? They're saying that it's him is in the argument for the best player in the league only because of those numbers. And I'm like, no, I'm looking at this game. There are guys better than him. And most of those guys play on both ends of the floor. Like, we got to talk about that as well. And we got to talk about his numbers being a product of the play style that Dallas has him playing in. Right. So that's my only gripe is that they're telling us what our eyes are seeing when we can, comprehend that that's not the same. It's not reality. What do you say to that?
I understand what you're saying in the fact that you do value two-way production rather than just one-way production. I do agree that Luka could be a bit better on the defensive side, but the reason I brought that up was because of how people are just looking at it and saying, "Oh, Luka just wants to play this way." When I'm saying that it is very conducive product.
That's
very
That's fair.
Because
no, that's fair.
Mark Cuban, you have to understand, it's a business, and people want to see Luka play like that. I do think that Luka is very skilled. I think he's impactful, but I just personally think that him doing everything is not how it should be.
Yeah,
I think that he being a playmaker and making carry the score would be better for the team. I don't think he has to score and do everything. I just don't think that is conducive to winning. I've debated with Mavericks fans about that. I've argued that heliocentrism is just not going to win with that.
Yeah.
It's just not sustainable, and you have to be perfect. With the Grant Williams situation, I do agree that the way how the Mavericks used him, I don't think they utilized him perfectly. Just making him stand at the corner and shoot threes.
Yep.
I think he could have been more useful to the offense. But at the same time, I think they also tried to put him in a starting position, which he shouldn't have been a starter. I think he should have came off the bench.
Yeah.
I think that was the best thing for him. With the Brunson situation, I think that Brunson was a perfect fit next to Luka. I just think that they should have never put Luka as a point guard, and they should have just put him at SF. But you have to understand, when they drafted Luka was actually at forward.
It was a small forward. Yeah, they had just drafted Dennis Smith Jr. the year before.
Jr.
Yeah, and Dennis Smith Jr. was the point guard. They got Luka, and halfway through the season, they saying Luka had point guard skills, and they was like, yeah, we're going to put him at point guard. And I think that was a mistake. And especially with having Brunson been a pure point guard and telling him he can't even play his own position.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I was trying to explain. Like, the front office, they just don't know what they're doing. Because why would you put Luka, 6'7" guy, as a point guard position? Like, normally the point guards are like short guys who are 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
And then you have your wings who are like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". Like LeBron, like PG, that's height. And then bigger, 6'10", you have your power forwards and centers. I just didn't understand that position. That's why I was saying that, yes, I do believe that the play style that is there does deserve a little criticism. The James Harden, the previous caller, I do believe the reason why he got criticism was because people are saying that he didn't perform very well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which indicatively depends on your interpretation on what did not perform in
Yeah.
because he did make the conference finals
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah, they did.
He
And
did
they made the conference final and they lost to Golden State. And I think they took them to 7 games at least one of those times. You know what I mean? And you know, and
Yeah, that's
CP3
what I
got
was
hurt.
saying.
Yeah. So I mean, and Houston had the number 1 record in the West one of those years as well. So James Harden was doing just fine with how they was playing, but we just knew it wasn't sustainable, man. But I appreciate the calls in, and I lock you in, so I know when next time you call in, man. So thanks for the call.
I thank you.
Yep. All right. Oh, one more caller from Ohio. What's up?
What up, family? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Man, let me just say this, man. The last caller, I agree as far as when it comes to like Dallas and the organization, they don't know what they're doing. But Mark Cuban, he's been doing this. He's been having this same pattern anyway, where he's not really a winner. He's never been a winner. He's just all about the face and keeping the money flowing in.
Yeah, I think
Mark Cuban has always represented that. He's always represented the money. He's never been about winning. It's always it's winning from a cash flow standpoint.
Yeah.
Because regardless if the Mavericks win or not, he's sleeping well at night.
Yeah. And
all the expenses is taken care of and the profit is coming in.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about what you just said? It's another owner in Dallas that does exactly the same thing, and he owns the Cowboys. I wonder if they talk.
I'm pretty sure they do. Oh, come on, bro. You already know what that is. Just like me and you talk. Just like me and you talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. When they see kicked up. And it's not about they don't know how to get out of their own way. That's really Jerry Jones though.
Yeah.
As far as that part, to me, I think Mark Cuban is more entertaining the way he's going about doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think Jerry wants to win, but I think Jerry just doesn't. He needs to get out of his own way, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Jerry doesn't know how to get out of his own way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me play for you real quick. Mark Cuban trying to explain, which is funny because I've never, like, how many team owners have you heard try to explain X's and O's of his ball club? That's an owner that's too involved. I haven't even heard Michael Jordan step down and do an interview and explain what type of offense his team run, but Mark Cuban does it all the time. Listen to what he said he wanted Kyrie to do.
Right? Yeah. So he knows, and we've talked about it, right? Kyrie is a super smart guy, and he knows it's Luka's team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is Luka's team, and so he can play 2, and when Luka's out of the game, you do the same thing, right? Yeah, like what's Pat Bev do? What you need me to be point? I'm point. You need me to just guard and run to the corner? Guard and run to the corner. Luka's that good that when Luka's in there, Kai needs to run to the corner, he'll run to the corner. If they double him and he needs to come to the foul line, just get a bounce pass and play 4-on-3. What's better than that? And if we do that, and Jimmy Goldstein, I did.
So what you heard him explaining is that, you know, he wants Luka to just do everything, and Kyrie Irving just got to read and react, run to the corner when he need to run to the corner. If Luka get in trouble, comes to the free throw line, get the pass and play 4-on-3. That's their whole philosophy.
Right. It's like this. You'll get this. You'll understand exactly. It's like it's the difference between running a championship system like a triangle versus a LeBron system.
Right. Exactly what it is.
That's all that is. Because it's just follow this, and then another thing that I'll peep from you playing that is that it was all about Luka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he knows that Luka this and Luka that and Luka, which proves what Grant said when he talked about the jersey.
Yep.
It's not about on the front; it's about what's on the back. You know what I'm saying? This is all about money.
Yep.
And this is another thing too. And I did not want to go here, but it's just the reality. All of this stems from LeBron James.
Yeah, that's his play style.
Yes, but this is what I fear, because I called you a while ago, bro, about Kobe, and I was telling you about how like why is it that everybody is just afraid of success? Why is it like what's the fear of that? And for me, it's like what we're witnessing right now is what I fear when it came to the whole LeBron trying to push this narrative of him.
Yeah.
In your way, and you said it earlier, as far as how following what the greats do, as far as like you take what they do and you elevate it. You know what I'm saying? It's always about going to that next step, that next level. You climb the stairs to get to that next level. When it was LeBron's turn, he said, "No, I'm gonna take the elevator."
Yep.
With Tamia and Tamara, and try to figure out which one is the cutest. That was hilarious, bro. You gonna make the Hall of Fame off that. That was clever. I never thought of that. I am using that. That was hilarious, bro. You are a legend. People subscribe because that, bro. When you said that, I was like, wow.
It made it make sense though, right?
No, but this is why I love analogy, because you can use that with a lot of things. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what made that was masterful, bro. I give you a props for that. But that's but not to get off the topic though. But that's the problem that I have with the league, as far as what they was pushing with ignoring Kobe and his mindset and saying, "Oh, we're gonna go with this guy right here who's more like Mark Cuban," or like with Dinwiddie said, where it's the versus your mom being like, "Oh, it's okay," or "Woosty woo," versus get your ass out there and fight. That's what they decided. They said, we're gonna go with the whole rub you here. Let me put some butter on it, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we decided to go with. And this right here that's going on in Dallas is a prime example. It's a prime example of exactly what I fear of the next generation, which is Luka and a lot of these players.
Yep.
And they're going to start following the mindset of a LeBron James.
Well, they're gonna have a hard time making it work because they've been trying to give Luka the MVP for 3 straight years. He can't win it. He just can't win it. They trying to give it to him and he can't win it. But because you got too many examples of people doing it the right way and they can't hide it for long. We got Edwards.
Exactly.
We got Edwards playing both ends of the floor, who got Minnesota number 1 team in the West.
He's solid.
How
you
how
don't
you
even hear about him, bro.
you don't even hear about him,
even
and he's not even
him,
in the
bro.
MVP discussion. Like they don't even have him in the top 5 votes for MVP. I got him in my top 5, but they ain't even got him. The dude that's number 1.
Yep, you're right.
Don't make no sense.
They do not mention, bro. You barely hear. They still talking about the Lakers. Like we still hearing about stuff that's irrelevant. It's like, bro, this man he got his team number 1. They are, and not only that, they're playing very well, and you can see him develop. You can see he's gotten better, man. You can see it.
Yep.
So that lets me know that he's serious and he's working on his game.
Yep.
Luka has been doing the same thing for years, and I like Luka. I actually do.
Me too.
What's going on is just, and I seen this coming because I'm gonna tell you where the first red flag for me was the Jalen Brunson thing. When he let him walk out the door for nothing, I was like, oh, okay, I see what you about, Mark Cuban. That was that like, what was that? That don't make no sense at all, even from a business standpoint. But I would have never let him walk out of the door.
As long as Luka is the point guard for Dallas, that's how you know Dallas not serious about winning. As long as he's the point guard, he needs to play his natural position, which is small forward, and he needs to study a lot of Paul Pierce. Study Paul Pierce and watch how he played off the ball and let Rondo do his thing.
Yes, sir. I agree with that. I didn't even think about it that way, because Paul Pierce to me was more poised too with his game. You know what I'm saying? He didn't force anything. He was smooth with it. He damn sure wasn't the biggest or fastest or any of that. But he understood how to get to his spot and not get in the way of his teammates.
Yeah, I think Luka can do that even at a higher level than Paul Pierce. I think Luka is that good. We don't have to see his point guard skills every game, every quarter, every play. We don't have to see it but look, every now and then, and I'm gonna tell you what's so good about Paul Pierce coming off the ball, even though he had skills with the ball. That opened up a role for Rondo. Like you can't even use a Rondo in an offense that they're running in Dallas because he can't shoot threes. So Rondo wouldn't even be valuable on this team. If somebody as good as Rondo, you can't use him. You get what I'm saying? So Paul playing small forward and off the ball opened up a whole nother thing for the Boston Celtics offense. And then whenever Rondo went and sat down, we could use Paul Pierce to bring the ball up and do some of his ISO stuff, right? So you don't lose that ability. You still get to do it, but you're not doing it primarily. And that's what they need to do, man. And as long as he playing point guard, they're not serious.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what coaches should have did with LeBron when he first came into the league, even though he plays a big part of it, because I think that's why he left Miami, because Pat Riley is cut from a whole different cloth. and he couldn't. And I don't believe that. I think this is just my theory. I think LeBron was there. I think he was there for what that was. That's what it was. Like, okay, I'm here to win championship. But he never planned to be there long because he couldn't okey doke with O'Reilly like he could with somebody else.
Exactly.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
just my opinion. You know, just throughout history with a Pat Riley. Riley ain't no okey doke type man.
You remember when we got
okey doke with him?
Yeah, and he didn't, and Pat Riley didn't let clutch sports come in and take over. But you remember, I just thought about this a couple of days ago. You remember when everyone got mad at Phil Jackson when he was in New York, and he had made the comment. He said LeBron James and his posse, or something like that. Right, I can't remember.
And everybody try to make it something else.
Yeah, they try to make it into a racist thing. And I thought about this like 2 days ago, and I was like, "Oh shoot, Phil Jackson seen the clutch sports stuff taking over before we did."
Yes, sir.
Phil Jackson seen it back then.
Yep.
And we didn't get it.
It's been going on.
We didn't get it.
Exactly, and I didn't even hear your I missed your show. I don't know if you did it so far as about the Kobe statue and stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, but I didn't know if you had if you said anything as far as about LeBron not being there. I'm just gonna throw this in there real quick.
I absolutely did. Yeah. It's on a full episode, and I think a clip of it. I got it scheduled to drop tomorrow morning, man. So
okay, I'll do that. I ain't gonna intertwine this with that, but yeah, man, for me, that's the problem. Is this whole LeBron thing that they're trying to do? I don't like. It doesn't work. LeBron is I call it a neutral position of basketball. You are literally you can do a little bit of a point guard, a two guard, a power forward, and a center. You have a piece of all of them as far as in what you can do on the court. But what I think they messed up with is that they said you are going to be the center of everything, and it's like you can't do that because now you just took away you made everybody else positionless.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah, and that's and you giving the harder burden. You giving the harder burden of the role players to adjust. And you giving the easier burden to your best player. It's supposed to be the opposite. Your best player is supposed to be so good that he can adjust, and you make it easier for your role players where they don't have to read and react off of you. You react off of you with the offense install. Other thing I say about this, right? LeBron. I lost the thought.
Let me say, it's all right, bro. We getting deep. That's all it is. Because we love this game, bro. That's all it is. I take this shit. Excuse me. I take this serious, man. I love this game. That's why I respect Kobe so much. You know what I'm saying? Because he took it serious, and I don't want the next generation to come in okey doking about it, bro. Like we grew up watching basketball. A lot of this for a lot of us that's listening to this, basketball was our first love, bro.
Yep, exactly.
That's what we love, you know what I'm saying, growing up, bro. That's, you know what I'm saying? And that was me. So I take it seriously, regardless if I have something to do with the league or not. I love the sport because I understand the game. Yep. It's deeper than just, it's not a game. It's a lot of life lessons in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just, I think now it's a circus. It's not even really about being the best you, and coming together as individuals, being in building something bigger than yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all just a party. It's like an event. And I don't respect that. And I think that a lot of that when it came to LeBron and like you said with the posse and all of that stuff, he just built this whole. It's like he built another league to wrap around the NBA.
You just jogged my memory what I was gonna say, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'll let you respond, and then you go. So, what the way LeBron plays, the way Luka is copied LeBron, and the way Harden and Westbrook tried to copy LeBron. What it really was, like a lot of people think that LeBron was leading those teams, but what LeBron was doing is exactly what Luka is doing right now, which is not winning basketball. You can't win that way, right? So what he did was get players so good beside him that he can continue to play that way while the other players actually win the game for him. And and that's exactly what Jason Kidd explained. He was like, yeah, Luka can get that MVP if we can just get a couple of wins. So he's putting the burden on his teammates to get the win, and all Luka got to do is to go get the stats.
Dude, yep. That's sweet, bro.
Yep.
Like
and that's why LeBron had to
keep
keep that, and that's why LeBron needs a co-star who scored just as good as Kobe. Imagine this: Kobe Bryant is one of the best players we ever seen. LeBron's supposed to be one of the best players we ever seen, but LeBron is getting a player that scores just as well as Kobe to be his co-star, and then he's getting a player that scores just as good as Pippen to be his third guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting a Kobe and a Pippen to go with him, right? That's overkill.
Why he's eliminated.
Right,
that's why he's eliminated from the GOAT conversation. He should never be in it, bro. And I think LeBron's a great player, but he should never be in it. I'm gonna let you continue though, bro.
That's it.
Sorry. I just okay. Well, I'm gonna say this, but yeah, I don't think that he should be in the GOAT conversation because of a lot of those things. It's like you're immediately eliminated.
Yeah.
Now we got the same top three. Only difference is I got Kobe 2 and Cap 3, and I agree as far as you take everything and put it to say where who's 1, who's 2, and who's 3. I agree with that. The only thing I disagree is well, this is the reason I got Kobe number 2 over Cap is because as far as like we talking about as far as being a great player and who's playing next to you. I think that Cap. I think Oscar, Cap, Magic, Shaq, D Wade. I even say Chris Bosh. Who else? Is that it? Hell, I throw Kyrie even in there. I would say they all are better than Pau Gasol as far as from just a player standpoint.
Yeah, I would say that.
If it was, so and Kobe won with him twice, back to back, and he went to 3. So that's the only reason that I put him above Cap. That's the only reason. Because to me, he's the only player to do that.
Yeah. G24D said Wade, Bosh, Kyrie, Love, Ray Allen, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and Rondo.
No, it's like, right? Like, damn, bro. What is that? Like, and that's all places that LeBron played with. And y'all calling him the second greatest player of all time? And really, they trying to say the GOAT. I'm like, man, y'all. I lost all respect for a lot of them talking heads, bro. I'm like, man, stop it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we already know what it is, man. They doing it for their job.
They probably getting a check.
Yeah, they doing it for their job. Well, look, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna take more phone calls because I see a lot of LeBron fans here. I want them to call in before I end the show. What's your name so I can say your number? What's your name?
My name is Ronnie, man.
All right, Ronnie. I'm gonna lock you in.
I like you in too, brother. You gonna live a long time, man. You have a good one.
All right, big dog. All right, yep.